Yeah, my first video about Will Smith slapping Chris Rock was relatively tame, and I'm not going to go off on this new one because it's already been a few days since it's happened. The anger really flared up the more I thought about it. And I was like your boy, Jack Reacher, who wrote that really great statement about it. I think it was Monday or Tuesday he released it. I call him Jack Reacher because I don't remember the actor's real name. But that whole disgusting speech Will Smith gave, this emotional speech that he gave after slapping a brother on stage in front of millions of people over a stupid joke about a person who's cheated on you, who's manipulated you, and you can say, yeah, you love her, whatever, but she was just annoyed at the joke. And to act like in that stupid speech he gave, when he was talking about aggressively defending his family or whatever, what are you aggressively defending her from? Being annoyed at a G.I. Jane joke because she's bald now? I don't know if Chris Rock knew she has alopecia, but when they keep saying medical condition, like that fake apology Smith gave, where he's like, I can take jokes, but if you make jokes about my wife's medical condition, it's just alopecia. She's not dying. She's not chemo. Your boy, Bruce Willis, has got aphasia. He can't even, God, his brains are gone. And you're whining and worried about somebody saying, oh, I can't wait for you to do G.I. Jane 2. To me, like I said, I had no idea that she had alopecia because I don't pay attention to Jada Pinkett Smith at all. I knew about her cheating on him because of that red table talk or whatever, and it was mainly through Twitter. I'm not on Twitter now. I've been on Twitter for months. So apparently, though, she had come out years ago talking about the alopecia. But the thing is, there's this sense that everybody's supposed to know everything I'm going through because I'm so important, because I do a podcast, and so everybody should know. I think it's a podcast or a show. Everybody should know I have alopecia, and so you're, damaging and humiliating me by not, by making fun of it. So even if he did know, it was still the mildest joke in the world. The joke he made about her and the also Oscars, the one where she so supposedly boycotted the Oscars because of Oscars so white or whatever. That one was that still wasn't slap worthy, but that one was harsher. The whole thing about, what did he say, that Jada Pinkett Smith boycotting the Oscars is like him, Chris Rock, boycotting Rihanna's panties. You were never invited. So, it was just a dumb joke. And for Twitter, and particularly black women who are so tiresome, and it's funny, there's this weird thing, sort of like Darth Vader, where Anakin Skywalker was so worried about the irony of it. I was so worried about, Amidala being hurt, that he ended up being the one that hurt her. And it's like, I feel like black women are always so worried about, people hating them. They end up being the reason why people hate them. And I'm really just talking about a couple of women, or, whoever's on Twitter going nuts about, he was defending his wife. And it was funny to see, I think it was Entertainment Tonight or whatever, interviewing people, or they were gathering the interviews from people who were talking about how they felt when they saw Will Smith do this. Jim Carrey said it was sickening. Jeremy Piven was like, yeah, you don't do that. That's not right. Chris Rock's the GOAT. These are jokes. This is freedom speech, free speech. What do you think? There's no reason to do this. But Jane Seymour was like, I don't condone violence. And, why you're there. You're a celebrity. This is their job. A comedian's job is to roast your ass. And why you get up there slapping this man for that? But the one person who made it a big deal, was it Tiffany Haddish? I can't stand her anyway. And she's sitting there looking like a dumbass fool with this, basically bald herself with this ugly ass blonde dye job. Most black women look terrible with the blonde dye job. I don't know why they do it, but whatever. That's each to their own. But still, and she's sitting there making it about, yeah, you know, G.I. Jane. When I was in high school, people would call you that to question your sexuality. It's like, shut the fuck up. Nobody's talking about her goddamn sexuality. They already know she been fucking a bunch of dudes around behind Will Smith's back. So, like, who cares? Like, that's not, like, don't bring all this fake bullshit into it. And for some stupid writer, and a couple of them did it. A couple of these stupid cultural critic black women, making it about white supremacy and making it about white people's reaction to two black men fighting. Like, black people are always expected to behave in white spaces. It's a shut the fuck up. What the fuck are you talking about? Grown people are expected to behave in grown up adult places, white or not. Like, there was no cause. And it's like, is Will Smith the only black person here? They're talking about defending black women. She was just annoyed. That's all she was. She was just annoyed. And for it to become this thing where, because she's annoyed at a joke about her bald ass head, it's enough for somebody to go up there and slap people. And this is open-handed slap. Again, this is the thing. Black man slapping another black man in front of millions of people. Open-handed slap to this man's almost 60 years old. And you just slap him, and you know you're not going to do it if it was The Rock. You're not going to do it. He wouldn't have done it. I'm no fucking Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle would have said something worse. He would have just sat there and laughed. Jada could have rolled her eyes all she wanted to. He would not have gone up there and did anything to Chappelle. It's just, he's a bully. He's got emotional problems. He's like an emotional, shitty woman, because he went immediately from laughing at the joke, having fun, expecting, I guess he knew he was going to get his Oscar, to looking at, all she did was just look annoyed. It's like people are saying, and I can't imagine, he's a grown man, he's in his 50s. I can't imagine him going, oh shit, when I go home, she's going to abuse me, she's going to cheat on me again. I've got to get up there and slap Chris Rock. I got to, but I there was nothing about the joke that I could see anyone with a functioning brain, without emotional problems, getting up there. And like I said, like, Chris Rock could have fought back, but it would have looked stupid because he's a grown man. And I know he's thinking, damn, you know, I can jump on his back. We can roll on the ground. I'm not worried about him beating me up, because security is going to get involved. Our entourages are going to get involved. We can roll around and I can get my hits in or whatever. But all these people out in the audience are going to be like, oh my God, no. Ah. It's like, again, I can see it. I can see the nonsense, the stupidity. So he's got to hold that in. And then for the Academy to say, oh, we asked him to leave, he didn't go. I don't believe they asked him to leave. I don't believe that. I can imagine Will Smith maybe saying, no, I'm not going anywhere. Because he didn't care. He did not care that he slapped him. He didn't feel bad about it at all. He thinks he's a hero, or he thought at the time he was a hero. You know, he thought that I can just do this, nobody's going to care, and that's it. But if they really cared about getting him out of there, you get the cops and you drag his bitch ass out there. Let him yell and scream and holler. But they didn't do that. They let him go up, I don't know how many minutes later. I know that the documentary award, but they said it wasn't long after that he went up there and got an award. And for him to be all emotional, the thing that really pissed me off about it too, when I saw stuff afterwards. Okay, so he slaps this dude. Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. But Will Smith is the one crying afterwards during the commercial break. And you got Denzel Washington. I was about to say a slur, about to use a bad slur. But you got Denzel Washington acting like a bitch, hugging up in him and sucking his dick. And then you got Bradley Cooper running over there, grabbing him, squeezing his ass cheeks, telling him, don't worry, calm down. You good. We understand you. You protecting your woman. Relax. Don't be upset. You just slapped Chris Rock. It ain't no problem. Chris Rock is just a comedian who made fun of us in the past. So we understand. We all in love with you. Don't worry. What the fuck is he crying about? Until they told him to leave. He started crying because that's probably what happened. They probably did say, hey, look, you know, we can't allow this You need to leave. He started crying, talking about, I ain't going nowhere. How you gonna let him just talk about my wife like that? You gonna tell me to leave? He insulted my wife. And then Tyler Perry and Denzel Washington went over there and gave this nigga a dick massage to calm him down. And then the producer said, all right, fine. You about to win your Oscar. We won't say anything. Then they gave him a standing ovation after he, they called his name. Now, he had already won the Oscar. I don't think they should take it from him. Because, Roman Polanski's got Oscars today. They haven't taken from him. They actually gave him Oscars after some of the things he did. So, but they should ban him from attending the Oscars for a couple of years. Not just 1 year, like 5 years. I personally would just kick him out of the Academy. He's not going to be allowed to get any more awards, but he's such a huge star. They're probably not going to do it. And a lot of those people, they're his friends. Academy is all those people who work together. They're all friends. And so he's got a lot of influence. So they kick him out of that, but then he can maybe influence who gets to, work with him in future films. Although who knows how his career is going to be now. There's a lot of stupid people who still want to defend him for this, so they'll still like him. Apparently, Rock did a show the other day, and there was some asshole in the audience, yelling, Will Smith. Like, why? Who knows? You just got stupid mental people out there. But yeah, it puts Chris Rock in a bad position. So now he's going to have all these shows sell out. I don't know how they were going to do before this, but he's definitely going to have all his shows sell out to see if the people want to see if he starts talking about it. But he's in this position where if the Academy doesn't do anything, that's it. He's just had to take a hit. His quote unquote co-worker went up on stage, slapped him for doing his job, and nothing happened to him. They gave this nigga an award right after that and a fucking standing ovation. All these pieces of shit standing there. Fucking Paul Thomas Anderson is standing there looking like a bitch. At least his wife, what's her name? Maya Rudolph, is that her name? Was that her mom's name? I think it was Maya Rudolph. Was looking like, I ain't clapping. I'm just standing up because my husband's standing up, whatever. But I feel like a lot of those people, the comedians, of course, are all like, nah, this is bullshit. This is their job. Cause when at the point where Smith slapped Rock, it fucked up the people who won the documentary award, which was going to be given out. Commercial break, I think before the commercial break was the in memoriam. Fucked that up because nobody was paying attention to it. And like I said, Chris Rock is in this position where he can't fight back because he knows it's going to look stupid. He can't press charges because he's a black man. And you can't call the cops on another black man. So he can't press charges. And then he can't sue. Because then it's like, yeah, you can't fight, but you can sue. But like Jim Carrey said, if he slapped me, I would have pressed charges and I would have sued him for $200 million. And I think that's what Chris Rock should do. I think not press charges at this point, but I would definitely sue Will Smith. Because nobody else is going to look out for him. He was working for the Academy, right, to do a job. And this nigga ran up there like a bitch and slapped him and then calmly turned around and walked away. Like Joe Rogan was saying, if you can slap a man, turn around and walk away like that, walk away like it's no big deal, then you shouldn't have slapped that guy in the first place. Because this is one thing if you slapped a dude. Like if he slapped Chris Rock and then stood there like, okay, you ready to squall? We're going to get down. That's my opening salvo. The slap is the opening salvo. Like back in the day when the dandies and aristocrats would be like, you low-bred ruffian, and then slap you with their glove and say, it's on at dawn with guns. Bring your seconds. We'll do the damn thing. Do you hear me, sir? But no, he slapped him, smiled because he probably heard Jada laugh, turned around and then walked back. And then after that, he still had the nerve to be screaming and hollering about, keep your name out. You just slapped this dude. Now, the thing is, if he was really upset about the joke, there are so many ways he could have handled that without being a bitch and still got him in his face. He could have just done the Kanye thing. Run up there and be like, put his arms Like he's trying to hug Chris Rock, but also firmly and be like, hey, I'm going to let you finish, but I love my wife and I just want you to know she's a beautiful woman, blah, blah, blah. Just say that and go sit back down. People have been so charmed and thought it was so funny. And Chris Rock would have been like, ha, 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 you right, dude. He probably would have been understanding, like, what's the big deal? Like me, if I saw Jada before I knew about this alopecia thing, I would have thought she shaved her head on purpose and she was being like trying to be a proud African woman from Wakanda. I really think that's what fucking Chris Rock thought. When he saw her shave the head, he thought she was being pretentious and being like, I'm a strong nature woman, so I'm going to have a bald head now. I really think that's what he thought, because so many women have bald heads now. So many black women, and like I said, Black Panther has made it a thing. So he probably, I really honestly believe he didn't know. But even if he did, it still wasn't a big deal. But anyway, I'm not surprised. I'm annoyed, but I'm not surprised at all the stupid ass idiots on Twitter who love to talk about toxic masculinity. You probably hear the cops. Like I said, every time I record, the cops are going to just start riding around the neighborhood. So, sorry. But you have these people constantly talking about toxic masculinity. And the first thing they do is praise a man for being toxically masculine, which it wasn't. He wasn't toxic or masculine. He was being a bitch. But they praise this guy for slapping a guy because he hurt somebody's feelings. And like I said, her feelings wasn't hurt. She was just annoyed. She just rolled her eyes like, pfft. She didn't even look hurt. Like, she didn't look like, but I'm bald now. She just looked like, oh, God. And he aggressively defending us. You're not defending anybody from being slightly made fun of. But these same pieces of shit who have the nerve to be like, white people have no right to comment on it. Like, these people, I'm telling you, they're not to be taken seriously. There's no point in listening to them. These large corporations are listening to them and ruining all kinds of projects because they're constantly putting black women in everything, putting queer people in everything, just stuffing them too much into stuff and making it about their identity and not about the story. So, fine. They're going to ruin a lot of projects. But you cannot take them seriously because they don't care. They're not serious about any of the things they're talking about. They saw a black man slap another black man. Instead of saying, now, we don't want this violence between our brothers, whatever. They're saying it's about black women and the trauma. The generations of trauma. What, of having being bald? A lot of African women are bald anyway. They shave their heads on purpose. So they have no leg to stand on, but they do this shit anyway. And so they're actually saying that white people have no right to comment on it. That they shouldn't talk. It's just like the stupid thing about they can't use white people or have digital blackface when they use memes or gifs of black people doing things to react to stuff. You can't take these people seriously. They're insane. They brought back segregation, like your boy Zach says when he talks about comics and the fact that only blacks can write black characters. Only gay people can write gay characters. Only women can write women characters in stories and fiction and all that stuff. Like, these people, right, staying on the entertainment part of it, these people have infested action movies and sci-fi and fantasy, and they've condemned the violence, and they basically say that these fictional properties inspire people, especially white people, to violence. Right? They say that. But then they see, they see white people calling out someone in real life for being violent and condemning it, and they still find a way to be mad. So instead of them saying, okay, well, maybe white people who like violent video games and like sexy women in video games do understand the difference between fiction and reality. So maybe it's good that they're calling out the violence. No, not these fucking idiots. They look at it and go, we don't have to behave in your white space. We can be just as violent and niggerish as we want to be. I don't get it. I don't fucking get it. These people are crazy. Like I said, don't take them seriously. So, yeah, like, all the white people, all the different channels, all the YouTube channels that have, condemned this violence, obviously they can show a difference between playing a violent video game or watching violent movies. and real life violence. That's the thing. People can tell the difference. These idiots can't. The irony is, these idiots who are defending Will Smith can't tell the difference between real and fake. They'll take their fake stories, their fake trauma, their fake narrative of black girl magic and protecting black bodies, and they'll find any excuse to prop somebody up. Like I said, it doesn't matter. Take any social subject you want. They will find a way to prop up something that's bad just to protect their pet causes. They always do it. They always do it. But that's it, I think. Thanks for listening. Take care.